Demons, and it's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. Episode 5 opens in a morgue. Someone got killed quite nastily. Why are you bringing in Mina? I know she's psychic or some shit, but it's been a while since you mentioned it. Honestly, I thought you'd all forgotten.
What is it?
It was Luke. It looked like he was dead.
No replacement of the theme song with something more appropriate. Yet. So, Mina's psychic powers, are they the side effect of her cleaning her blood? Or do all vampires have them? Because Quincy touched Mina before Ruby stole his hair. And him getting a vision of her using the hair to create a magical DNA anti-vampire killing bullet might have been useful. And why is she seeing visions of dead Luke? I don't care if the thing that killed this guy is going to kill Luke. You only get visions from the current dead guy, or it's cheating. What's next? They're going to get a letter saying, "Hello, my name is Evil Von Bastard and I killed a bunch of kids. You can find me at ... I seriously hope I'm not setting myself up for a fall after the intro. Roll the improved theme song. We're suddenly in college. How nice! Luke goes to college. He sees a blonde, immediately falls in love, and what follows is some horribly scripted, no one really talks like that lines as he tries to charm her.
Lasagna on a Monday. Are you crazy? You take all the meat from last week, mince it up. That's what's in your lasagna.
In your expert opinion, is there anything that is safe to eat?
In this place. Forget it.
So why are you in the queue?
I'm thirsty. I think I'm dehydrated.
Before?
You knew, yeah?
Can I sit with you?
This whole thing about the food, the charming, witty banter, do you practice it?
No.
Trust me, you really need to.
It's like Joss Whedon fell down some stairs onto a bunch of syringes labelled "Inability to Write Dialogue." Anyway, this is apparently the sexy episode because Philip Glenister has fallen in love with a local expert in Sumerian writing. At least briefly. You see, they found some ancient Sumerian writing at the location where the guy that no one really gives a shit about's body was found. Why do I say no one gives a shit about him? Because no one in the episode does. And whatever killed him took the time and effort to write shit in a dead language nearby. And this won't make much sense later on. They seek out a demon that might have some information, taking care to avoid the guillotine trap. Huh. I do not care how tiny and unscary the owner of this place is. Why hasn't that corridor been filled with would-be squatters? It's an abandoned-looking building in the middle of London that you can just walk into. And a guillotine can only kill 1 or 2 people at a time.
I want to know if you've heard anything about Luke Van Helsing. What's the word around the sewers?
There is no word. I don't hear nothing.
Now that's the problem. When you stop hearing things, start losing your privileges. You're just another half-life. Needs grading and smiting. You hearing this?
You've moved on from being dedicated to the genocide of an entire race, onto threatening someone literally half your size. Congratulations, Mr. Least American Person in History. Every episode you find new ways to disgust me. He orders the demon to find out who's going to try and kill Luke, or generic death threat from a bully number 57. Anyway, he warns Luke to stay in and stay away from things that are weird or might end up killing him. And we cut to the obviously villainous blonde woman being hassled by these guys. One of whom is Daniel Anthony from the Sarah Jane Adventures, the best Doctor Who spin-off so far made. So I might be wrong about this, but it might be Demons attempting to show it's better than Sarah Jane, and by extension Doctor Who, by having Luke eventually beat up Anthony. A bit like a brainless version of the Evil Dead's Take That to Hills Have Eyes. Of course, it could just be a fine young actor getting a small part in a bad TV show and I'm reading too much into it. And there is something sad when a show has generic action music that would be a more fitting theme music than its own actual theme music.
Told you I could do Kung Fu.
So romance has been kindled, and apparently so has the informant dwarf.
Slugs. He's toast.
Bet he's pissed off. Someone who's not him killed a demon. Anyway, dragon thing, attack! Refuses to stay down in their subterranean base until the obvious dragon thing based danger is past and heads off to meet Blondie, who is the most sinister reflection of the whole show.
That's it, I found it. It's a Harpy. Grade 10.
Wait, grade 10? A commoner garden vampire is grade 12. Why exactly is a vampire more serious than a flying mythological creature that apparently has its own built-in flamethrower? And since when have harpies been dragons? One is a claymation thing with big tits sent to punish Patrick Troughton, and the other burns the shit out of dwarves. When exactly did they become the same thing?
Slugs. He's toast.
Oh, a few scenes ago. Anyway, are deck chairs that common on the banks of the Thames in autumn? I'm far from an expert in all things London, but I'm fairly sure I've never seen them before.
There are 3 harpies, Ayala, Saliana, and Ossipite. Sisters. 1554, Peter Van Helsing hunted and killed 2 of the harpies. Burned them alive.
Okay, so I'm guessing the remaining sister was pretty unhappy about that. She's looking for some kind of payback.
Okay, everything's set up. Now it's time to wait for Blondie to reveal she's actually a harpy, because that's fucking obvious. We're halfway through. This is going to be a boring 20 minutes. So, why did she wait 500 years to get revenge on a descendant of the guy who killed her sisters? I can understand blaming a family for 3 or 4 generations, but when there's been more than 50, you're being petty. Phew, I just had a thought. She is the last remaining harpy, meaning that she is, in fact, the queen of the harpies.
She's the queen of the harpies.
No, I'm
queen
not.
of the harpies.
No, I'm not.
Here's your crown, your majesty.
Get away from me,
Queen of the harpies.
So Glenister and Mina work it out too. As in, they work out that a harpy can turn from a girl into a monster and therefore assume that Luke's new squeeze is a harpy. It's such an obvious twist that I think the only members of the audience who haven't worked it out by this point are the ones who killed themselves minutes after the show began when they realised they were in fact watching Demons. But Mina and Glenister haven't said 2 words to her. I know it's almost impossible for Luke to have a requited loving relationship, and you're itching to kill someone, but come on. Evidence before you break his heart and try to murder his girlfriend. Please.
We hacked into the college's computer system and checked her registration form. It's all lies.
You're spying on her?
We can't find any trace of her parents. There's no birth certificate, no national insurance number. It appears she came out of nowhere.
Maybe she uses a middle name. People do that all the time.
Luke, your girlfriend's a half-life.
Oh, okay. I was bound to underestimate you one of these days, show. Kudos. Anyway, even when Glenister's right, he manages to be pretty much a villain from any other show.
None of this proves Alice is a harpy.
You're absolutely right. That's why we need to abduct her.
You can abduct an 18-year-old girl.
So, why did it kill the teenage boy at the start? Was it practicing? Did it miss? Why did it leave its body undamaged when it has fire breath? And most importantly, why doesn't her harpy form have tits? It's kind of the harpy thing. Giant bird one with tits. Anyway, Luke agrees to meet with the others so they can test if she's a harpy, and then goes and does it by himself because he's an idiot. I swear, this show has allowed 5 brain cells in total, and right now it's spread between Glenister and Mina. I mean, look at this. He finds out that Wormwood will kickstart the transformation into her monster form, so he spikes her beer with it. While she's randomly looking in a fucking mirror, can almost definitely see what the fuck he's doing. Oh, twice I've underestimated you, demons. It won't happen again. But still, wouldn't Wormwood have some sort of a smell or something? I know it's related to absinthe.
Hello?
Fuck! She smelled it. I'm officially stopping assuming this show was written by highly trained gorillas with very sturdy typewriters. So why couldn't Luke smell or taste the wormwood? Because he just assumes that she drank the right one, is human and it didn't affect her. So Glenister and Luke have a fight. Luke creepily smells Blondie's scarf that she left at his house, and it's not connected to that, but the blonde one turns into a monster made out of 100% pure evil CGI. She killed a guy when she was in her dragon bird monster form and looks surprised. So Harpy is a bit like a werewolf. They have no idea what they did in their beast mode. This might actually be the most mangled bit of mythology I have ever seen. A big-titted Greek bird demon that works for his use and has total control over its actions is actually a no-titted Sumerian were-dragon that has no control over its actions. Well done. At this point you might as well have created a new monster 15 inaccuracies ago. Anyway, Luke comes to visit and spots the fresh blood outside the door. Okay, ignoring how the blood got on the outside of the door, how the fuck is it still wet? The guy was grabbed last night, and how did the mindless Harpy dragon get the guy inside and close the door? Well-behaved little psychotic minx, isn't she? Anyway, Luke spots her with the body and it's time for some killing. Again.
The girl who's right for you, she'll accept you for who you are, and she'll always be there for you no matter what.
Yeah? Well, if you meet that girl, give her my number.
But first, we need a scene where Ruby nearly explains that she loves Luke. Oh, the excitement.
You know, it's girls like her that give women a bad reputation.
Yes, the immortal, non-human women are always ruining things for the rest. You have to be in a group before you can make the rest of it look bad by extension, you moron. You might as well say that the elves of Mirkwood make the Black Panthers look bad because they didn't help Thorin's grandfather. There's no fucking overlap between these two groups. Luke arranged to meet Blondie in a nightclub because those are brilliant locations to arrange and meet a were-dragon that you're gonna try and kill. Luke spikes her beer, again, and she hasn't learned after the last time. In fact, she's actually stupider this time because she doesn't smell the beer before drinking it. They tell each other that they know who the other is, blah 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 blah, and Luke is actually waiting for her to turn into a flying, dangerous, fire-breathing dragon thing before killing her.
What are you doing? Get on with it.
Episode, please don't make me agree with that twat again. It was bad enough that you proved me wrong 3 times. Just fucking kill her! That is not code for protect her from the other guy trying to fucking kill her. Say what you will about Magwild, and I said quite a lot, but she would have ended this quickly, and destroyed priceless things while she did it. She runs off, Luke chases her with his very, very, very obvious gun, and there's a short fight on the roof. The end. Thank fuck! Going back to the start, I mentioned the Sumerian writing didn't make much sense. Allow me to go into more detail. She wrote a message in ancient Sumerian on a wall. Why a message? No reason. Why ancient Sumerian? No reason. She's immortal and from there, but she speaks perfect English. She has no reason to put a message in ancient Sumerian instead of fucking English. So I have 2 possibilities. 1, the writers needed a way to get the Legion of the Pointless onto her trail. Or 2, she has a very weird and particular form of OCD. Anyway, in general, this episode is terrible. Especially terrible for making me agree with the motherfucking twatty cunt bastard one. Slide points for 3 times not being quite as painfully fucking stupid as I thought, but geez, the raping of mythology and sense here is just painful. Oh well, only 1 episode left. That was Demons episode 5, and it hurt me more than it hurt you.
We have sinned